Hey everyone, it's Jack from WhatCulture.com and I'm back again with another edition of Ups and Downs for this week's SmackDown Live. Now, last week, a lot of you had very positive opinions about Peter Austin, my prospective GM, so by popular demand, if you stick around, maybe he'll, come back towards the end of the video. I'm sure we'll all really look forward to that. So without any further ado, let's up the downs. Now we start things off with a down, sadly, because in the opening segment nobody really seemed to know what they were doing apart from Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan, who came out of the ring, called out Dolph Ziggler, all the things that a good heel should do, and Bray did it in his uniquely charismatic way. But then Dean Ambrose came out. Where was his beef with Bray? It wasn't really any. I suppose he could have stayed backstage. And then Ziggler came out, jumped in the ring and attacked both Rowan and Wyatt and obviously got beaten down. Not really sure why he did that. And then Ambrose jumped in to save Ziggler when we've seen Ambrose act a little bit kind of heelishly over the past sort of week. And he didn't really need to jump in and save him. You'd think that he'd want his opponent at SummerSlam to be a little bit weakened and a little bit shaken. So neither Ziggler nor Ambrose really knew what they were doing in that segment. That's a down for me. However, I am going to give the segment an up as well for the booking because it made Ziggler and Wyatt look strong, and you don't want SmackDown to get too top heavy. Obviously Ambrose is by far the biggest star on SmackDown apart from Lesnar and Orton, but they're very much doing their own thing. And you don't really want Dean to look like an invincible champion. You want a host of strong competitors, and that's exactly what SmackDown has established. Ziggler looks better than he has done in years, and so does Bray as well. He's got some of that menace back too, so that's definitely an up. Richard, the editor, has just pointed out that I've implied that Ambrose is a bigger star than John Cena. I'd just like to apologise to John Felix Anthony Cena Jr. For such a transgression. Now we get on to another down, and I've named this point hashtag Tag Team Revolution because remember last year when the Divas Revolution came in and they just seemed to throw all the women in the ring and go, bleh, you're in that team, you're in this team, whatever. They're kind of doing the same thing with the tag team division. American Alpha came out and beat a couple of enhancement talent, local competitors, jobbers, whatever you want to call them, and then all the other tag teams on SmackDown jumped in the ring and had a big fun brawl. This doesn't really establish a storyline, does it? It doesn't really do a favour to any team in the division apart from American Alpha, who looks strong, but man, it was just a whole load of just nonsense, really. I'm afraid that's a down as well. Now, I gave this an up last week and I'm giving it an up again because I love what they're doing with Eva Marie at the minute. Last week she injured her leg jumping off the turnbuckle. This week she had a wardrobe malfunction. She deliberately undid the straps of her ring attire, had to be covered by a towel, ran to the back, and by the time that she came back out, match was already underway and she'd been replaced by Alexa Bliss. Becky Lynch sold this perfectly on the microphone. She was very frustrated. The crowd hate Eva Marie, but it's for the right reasons now. It's not because she's being rammed down our throats as a babyface. It's because WWE are pushing her as what everyone sees her as, an inexperienced woman who's been chosen mainly for her looks, let's face it, and they're really taking this in an interesting direction. I will just say, I hope they don't drag that out for too long, and I hope the storyline deepens and develops as it goes on. But for now, that's an up as well. Another conflicting one, Alexa Bliss came out to replace Eva Marie. She beat Becky Lynch by virtue of a distraction, as Eva made her second entrance with that hilarious voiceover man going, "Oh, it's Eva Marie," I can't do it. And then Alexa hit her finisher, we got to see that, that's great. Got the pinfall. I'm giving it an up, but I will say that this does make Becky look weak. It's been a good long while since we've seen Becky in a position of power and strength, and she really needs to pick up a win soon. I just get distracted whenever I think of Becky Lynch because she's really pretty. Next up we had Randy Orton v Alberto Del Rio, and you'd imagine that Orton would have a dominant victory, maybe a slightly competitive match, but a clean dominant victory over Del Rio as he marches on towards the marquee match of SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar. No, that's not what happened. Del Rio hit him with a chair, got DQ'd, and then Randy hit the RKO out of nowhere while he stood right in front of him, but out of nowhere. And as we all know, it only takes one RKO to put anyone away, and I can't wait for Brock Lesnar to prove that wrong when he kicks out of it at SummerSlam, and we're all meant to act surprised. Anyway, this match was quite disappointing. Randy should really be made to look stronger. It's a down for me. Now, as I said, I would be bringing Peter Austin back from last week due to popular demand. I'm going to give him a bit more of a challenge this week because I don't want to be too harsh. He didn't really impress me last time. I mean, he didn't know who Steve Austin was. It doesn't matter. I'm going to give him a fresh start, and I'm going to let him co-decide with me some of the ups and downs, and I'll, monitor how he does. So without further ado, Peter, do you want to just... How are you? Are you all right? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
What's that you've got there?
Nothing, doesn't matter.
Now, Peter, I'm going to start you off with one of the... You've got to decide whether it's an up or a down, and then I'll correct you or agree with you.
Okay.
Just to test your wrestling credentials from last week. So first of all, The Miz is the current Intercontinental Champion. He's arguably the second biggest champion in the company at the moment. He's a sort of a conniving, cowardly bad guy. He was outwitted this...
I know all this. You don't need to...
It's just for the... just for the...
Right, okay.
Viewers. He was outwitted this week by Scooby-Doo in the car park. Yeah. Scooby-Doo locked him in the Mystery Machine and then drove off in the Miz's sports car. Is that an up or a... Bearing in mind, this is the second biggest champion.
Is this a wind-up?
Sorry?
Scooby-Doo?
Yeah. They're promoting they do this all the time, they advertise...
That's an up. That's an up.
Next up, I'll just do this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just decide this one first, and then are you paying attention?
Yeah, you'll do this one first.
You've got Rhino v Heath Slater, who's going to win the contract to SmackDown. You've got Rhino returning, the old veteran. You've got Heath, the sort of loser, a lovable loser in a way.
Yeah.
Rhino won the match. I'm going to give that an up. I enjoyed the little storyline.
Sorry, carry on.
That's all right, it's fine. I'm glad you agree. That's an up. Rhino, it was good. You really throw me off here, Peter. I don't know what did you think of Rhino? What do you think?
Rhino, well, Rhino makes me think of, look over there. Look over there. It's, Rhino, I think is just like Damien Demento when in 1993 he defeated Jim Powers on February 20.
That's some astonishing knowledge there, Peter. That one's an up. It's good to know that you've been brushing up on your new generation era. Next up, we have the women's match between Carmella and Natalya. It pains me to do this because I like Carmella and Natalya, but I'm going to give this one a down. It wasn't the strongest match. It also makes Becky Lynch look a bit weak by association. Carmella just waltzes in, beats Natalya. But of course, Becky, who's in most people's eyes the top dog of the SmackDown women's division, she, lost to Carmella. No, sorry, she lost to Natalya last month. So I made a mistake there.
It's all right.
She lost to Natalya last month, and that makes her look weak because Carmella can just walk in and pick up the win straight away. But Carmella, she can bounce back from a less than impressive performance. She's a really charismatic girl. We all know her catchphrase, don't we?
Wubba lubba dub dub.
What was that?
Wubba lubba dub dub.
Where have you plucked that from, Peter Austin?
Carmella's catchphrase. It's fine. Just keep going.
It's fine, apparently. It's fine. Just keep going, yeah? Final one, we get to the main event. I'm giving this an up. I'm at the end of my tether here, to be honest, mate. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Ambrose and Ziggler, tag partners, can't really get on. They pick up the win in the end. Ambrose turns around, blasts Ziggler with the dirty deeds. I'm just rattling through this, to be honest. That's good. It shows a bit more of a heelish side. He's the champion. He wants to keep hold of the belt more. Add so many more layers to the match at SummerSlam. Right, we're done. That's enough for the last one. It's a draw. Right, Pierre?
Yep.
Who's your favourite wrestler of all time?
Oh, well, now that's a question. Jeff Jarrett.
That's all we've got time for this week. On Ups and Downs, I've been Jack from WhatCulture.com.
I've been Peter from WhatCulture.com.
I'm on Twitter at Jag_the_jobber.
At that Peter Austin.
At that Peter Austin. Lukewarm Peter Austin instead of Stone Cold. And we'll see you.
I don't get it. What?
We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon.
Were you one of the unlucky few who couldn't get tickets for July's WCPW tapings? Well, make sure you pick up tickets for August as they're already extremely limited. On August 24th, we'll be presenting a special live pay-per-view quality show, WCPW Stacked, featuring Moose versus Joe Coffey, the debut of the Women's Championship, Will Ospreay versus Marty Scurll. The WCPW Championship will be on the line. There'll be Joe Hendry, Joseph Connors, Big Damo, El Ligero, Primate, Grado, Drew Galloway, EC3, and GM'd by Eric Bischoff. Not just that, but on the 25th, we'll also be holding loaded tapings featuring the Kurt Angle Invitational, a pinfall and submission elimination rumble to decide who gets to face the Olympic hero in October. Grab your tickets for August at wc.pw while you still can. The 2 days are looking absolutely stacked.